We begin with Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak, who is calling for constructive engagement over allegations of religious discrimination at the Wesley Girls High School. The controversy stems from a lawsuit filed by lawyer Shafiq Usman, and speaking on Newsfile earlier today, the Interior Minister warned that if the matter is not handled properly, it could carry security implications given the sensitive mix of education, religion, and public sentiment.
You don't have no idea what's going on in a sub-region. And I can bet you, many of them have their roots in the way they created silos in their communities. I don't want to mention specific countries. As we speak, as the Minister supervising national security, I'm telling you that some of our neighbors have up to 1.3 million internally displaced people because of this kind of misunderstanding. 1.7 million displaced internally. Some of them have run to us. You see them on our streets. We are trying to get them back into their country. And the challenge is that.
Do you think that getting 5 judges in the Supreme Court, or at most 3, to make orders, will be the best way to go?
Frankly speaking, if I had my way, I would have said that let's continue engaging. Because believe me, 5 years ago when we started this, and now, there's a huge improvement.
So let's continue.
Now, lawyer and former member of Parliament Yunus Afuseni is also urging calm. Now, he says the matter is delicate and must be approached with caution.
My fear is that when you apply the strict dictates of law in solving a social problem which has religious underpinnings, you risk further fracturing society. That's my fear.
Okay.
And so there ought to be a way that you can engender social engineering, like a social cohesion of this country, like what you read in Article 37 of the Constitution, to ensure that the balance is held, even if loosely, between the various faiths. But to turn it to court for the court to determine whichever way is going to have repercussions.
Away from that, a Kumasi High Court has declared Akosua Serwaa and Priscilla Ofori, popularly known as Broni, as the 2 surviving wives of late high life legend Daddy Lumba. The ruling dismisses Akosua Serwaa's bid to be recognized as the sole wife, after the court found she failed to provide original documents to support her claim. Ohim Interior has more on this report.
Presiding Judge, Her Ladyship Justice Dorinda Smith Arthur, said exhibit fell short of sections 136 and 161, which required the plaintiff file the original marriage certificate from the Bornheim Marriage Registry and the subsequent certification by the Ghana Embassy in Germany. But the court ruled what the plaintiff presented as evidence was an extract. The Evidence Act also put the burden on the plaintiff to present a recognized German civil marriage expert as witness in court, something the plaintiff failed to do. She explained the proof of civil marriage in Germany could not have been done by conduct nor proof of photos, especially in the era of Photoshop. However, the court did not find evidence of the dissolution of the customary marriage between Akosua Serwaa and Daddy Lumba as claimed by the first defendant, Ebusuapanyin Kofi Owusu, in his witness statement and evidence in chief. The court found it surprising that a sister of Daddy Lumba, the second witness for the plaintiff, would testify in court that she did not recognize the second defendant, Broni, who named her 3rd child after her. The court was of the view that despite Ernestina Fosu, also known as Akosua Brempoma, being given full recognition on tape and describing the second defendant as a sweet and loving sister-in-law, she still did not recognize her. The court was, however, convinced the late musician married the second defendant since it found the evidence of the witness, Broni, and James Bediakon, who attended the marriage ceremony, as consistent, reliable, and coherent. The court ruled that Akosua Serwaa was married to the late Daddy Lumba in 1991, the same way Priscilla Ofori was married to the late musician in 2010. The court gave a consequential order to Ebusuapanyin Kofi Owusu to recognize Broni to perform widowhood rites. No impediments were put in the way of Ebusuapanyin to have access to the body of Daddy Lumba to organize the funeral. William Kusi, the counsel for Akosua Serwaa, said he needs time to study the ruling before taking a decision to appeal.
Are you going to appeal against this decision?
The court has spoken, and we are supposed to abide by the court's judgment, even though my team disagree with the decision of the court. So we'll go and sit down and review if it's appealable or appeal.
But lawyer for Broni, Alex Osei Owusu, welcomed the ruling of the court as he commended the judge for the 74-page judgment.
Today's ruling more or less closes a very bitter chapter for our client, Priscilla Ofori. This is a woman who has been lawfully married under customary law to Daddy Lumba, having lived with him for the past 17 years, born as many as 6 children, and Daddy Lumba is no more. She has the responsibility of raising 6 children alone as a woman. So the death of Daddy Lumba has been very devastating to our client, and it was worse, much more distressful when attempts were made to restrain her or prevent her from being recognized as a lawfully married wife to the late Daddy Lumba, and also to prevent her from performing their customary rites in honor of her husband. And thank God that did not happen. Today, by the judgment of the court, she is lawfully and legally married under customary law and is to be recognized as a surviving spouse of the late Daddy Lumba, and for which reason we are happy. I must say, not only for the presiding judge, but also the cooperation of counsel, Lawyer Kusi, Lawyer J, and ourselves, Lawyer Osei from Baba Jamal and Co. Now, and Fatih, the judge has been more than tremendous.
Meanwhile, the presiding judge has called for calm, adding there is no need for jubilation or to hurt anybody since judgment is supposed to resolve disputes. Ohim Interiors reports for Joy News.
Moving on, a deplorable road in the Offinso North District is adversely affecting activities in the farming community of Siseku. Now, while farmers watch their hard-earned harvest rot, unable to reach market, pregnant women face perilous journeys during labor, leading to lost pregnancies and fatalities. Residents are now pleading with the government to end decades of neglect. An Anasabit report.
In the fertile lands of the Offinso North District lies the farming community of Siseku, a place rich with potential where the earth yields abundance but where a single crumbling path threatens to choke the life out of its people. This is the road that links Siseku to the outside world. For decades, this vital artery has been in a state of advanced decay, and for the farmers who are the backbone of this community, this isn't just an inconvenience, it is an economic blockade. Kofi Adams is a resident farmer here.
The problem is facing
One major problem as a people is our roads. When it rains, our farm produce go waste because the buyers won't come here, and those who manage to come here buy them at very cheap rates, so it affects us as farmers. The economic loss is huge, and the consequences of this neglected road touches the most critical moments of human life. The road is bad, and so the trucks don't come here at all. As a result, we run at loss because our produce, like tomato, cannot be kept for longer periods because it goes waste after some few days. The financial losses are staggering, but the human cost of this neglected road cuts even deeper, becoming a matter of life and death. Mary Boachua, a mother of 5, says the road affects women in labor, leading to loss of pregnancies and, in the most case scenario, death. Women in this area are going through difficulties, particularly during pregnancies. The road network leads to loss of life sometimes. When in labor, we are forced to use motorbikes or sometimes tricycles to the hospital. Some lose their babies and others lose their lives in the process. Openi Akosua is the community linguist here. He shares with me how the terrible nature of the road network is causing road accidents and cutting off the community during rains. Less than 3 weeks ago, a brother to the DC lost his life through motor accident. He had a head-on collision with another whilst attempting to dodge some obstacles. When it rains, we get stuck here until the muddy nature of the road dries up. The plea from Sisiku is not new, but the desperation is growing. They feel their community, despite feeding the nation, is being left behind. They appeal to President Mahama to come to their rescue. We are appealing to President Mahama to come to our aid and help construct our roads for us.
This
is the road that dictates life in Sisiku. It dictates the price of tomatoes. It dictates the success of a harvest, and tragically, it has even dictated the fate of mothers and their unborn children. The people of Sisiku have done their part. They farm, they work the land. Now they are waiting and hoping that the current administration will finally do its part and construct this lifeline. For Joy News, I am Anas Sabit reporting from Sisiku.
Now, residents of Bethany in Kintampo have been cut off by a massive gully created by torrential rains, destroying major roads. Bunu East's Anas Sabit reports again.
What happens when the very ground beneath your feet is literally washed away? In the suburb of Bethany in the Kintampo North Municipality, this isn't a hypothetical question. It is a daily and dangerous reality. A section of their road has been transformed into a menacing gully by torrential rains, leaving residents trapped in a state of fear and pleading for help. This ever-widening chasm has split the neighborhood into two, turning simple daily routines into perilous journeys. Habiba Mohammed is a resident here. A few weeks ago, a grader was brought in to help shape this road, but after heavy rains, the route was washed away, affecting our homes and the movement of our children to school and where we used to our homes when we are returning from the markets. For parents like Habiba, every dark cloud is a threat. The combination of a potential electrocution hazard and the raw, destructive power of the storm water has turned this community into a ticking time bomb. We are always afraid whenever it rains because you see where the pole is. It is almost falling off, and so when it rains, we are unable to sleep until the rains stop. Sometimes we have to put off our meters because we don't know what is likely going to happen. Another resident here, Comfort Audi, shares the struggles they go through in their quest to fetch water on a daily basis and what children go through on their way to school. Because of this situation, we are unable to cross to go and fetch water, and our children can't cross to school either. And when you are away from home and it is raining, you remain worried because of the safety of our children. The plea from Bethany is clear now. They have run out of options. Now they wait and hope that their cries for help will be heard before this ravine claims more than just their road and their livelihoods but a human life. We are appealing to government and our leaders here in Kintampo to come to our aid. We are looking up to those in authority to get the MC, the MP and the president informed about our plight and that we need their help. Their community has been split and only a permanent solution can make it whole again. Anna Sabit, Joy News, Bethany.
Now, a new research has shown that burning of waste is quietly undoing Ghana's progress in the fight against air pollution, while emissions from transport and household fuels have held steady or even improved. Waste burning is now driving dangerous spikes in pollutants across major cities. Experts, policymakers and clean air advocates who gathered at the brief Ghana National Stakeholder Convening warned that Ghana risks losing decades of gains if waste burning is not urgently tackled.
Over 2 million gasoline cars inch through Accra streets every day, releasing clouds of pollutants from the air. Their impact on the city's air quality has been significant, but for 2 decades, transport emissions have stayed largely the same.
What we have found out is that the proportion that is coming from traffic remains the same. It hasn't changed over the last 20 years.
That's Dr. Raphael Aku, Associate Professor of Environmental Health Sciences at the University of Massachusetts. He and his team have spent 20 years sampling particulate matter across key communities, studying the fingerprints of pollution.
But the good news is that we have also found that the one that is coming from biomass burning, like when we burn wood for cooking or fish smoking or charcoal, that part has reduced significantly.
Policies like the ban on old vehicle imports and the new emissions levy were expected to further cut pollution from transport. But the emissions levy fell short of its goals. Dan Westerveld, a research professor at Columbia University, analyzed the data.
And we did not see any PM 2.5 change between the post-levy period and the pre-levy period. Basically, there were some changes, but statistically insignificant changes, very, very tiny, like a fraction of a % change in air pollution due to the policy.
Despite gains in cleaner cooking fuels, Dr. Aku warns that a new threat is wiping those gains out: waste burning.
We are also not doing well in trash collection, so people are now burning the trash. So it's making up for the gains that we make in biomass burning. It's being made up for in waste burning. So that means we are not making much progress anymore.
Part of the challenge is the lack of safe alternatives for moving around the city. Cycle lanes are rare, and where they exist, traders often take over the space. The Director for Planning and Programs at the National Road Safety Authority, Martin Afram, says change is critical.
The key thing is that we want to mainstream the provision of bicycle lanes and pedestrian walkways into the road infrastructure. And this is well spelled out in the National Transport Policy.
Dr. Aku's work forms part of the Breathe Accra initiative, a coalition pushing for cleaner, healthier air. Speaking at the gathering, Portfolio Manager Dr. Elvis Jabo said the next phase is mainstreaming.
We are hoping we can see some more mainstreaming and then build more on the awareness and also the capacity to implement these policies. Because it's good to know that we've done an air quality action plan, but do the people know how to implement it? So we're hoping to build on the work we've done, the foundation we've laid, and see how things can scale off to even be able to create more impact and get more results at the end of the day.
technical head for Breathe Cities Africa, Seneka Naidu, applauded Accra for leading coordinated action across 13 districts.
Now you've got those in 13 different districts. That's a lot of people to come together to make sure that you move this work forward. And the fact that that the city has been able to do that, I think is really, really a great achievement. So I think that's something that we want to see a lot more.
Ghana has made real progress. Cleaner cooking fuels, steady transport emissions, and coordinated policy workout. But the rise in waste burning threatens to undo it all. As experts warn, cleaner air is possible, but only if enforcement, waste management, and the public behavior change move as one. This story was a collaboration with New Narratives. Funding was provided by the Clean Air Fund, which had no say in the story's content. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
And the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors Ghana is urging corporate bodies to diversify initiatives in environmental sustainable governance to ensure the less marginalized in society also benefit. According to the Chief Executive, Dr. Patrick Ofori, the Chamber is ready to invest in all forms of activities to improve living conditions in the society close to their operation. He was speaking after commissioning a renovated hygiene facility for the Jowolu Special School.
The initiative to give a facelift to the hygienic condition of the special school was supported by a member company of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors Ghana, Matrix Gas, with the aim to contribute to the social investment initiatives of the Chamber. Before the renovation, the facility had been in a very deplorable state, exposing students to risk of disease outbreak in the school. Speaking to Joy News after commissioning the facility, Chief Executive of the Chamber, Dr. Patrick Ofori, called for a diversified investments in corporate social initiatives to improve many lives.
We use this opportunity to invite other corporate entities that, in as much as we talk about diversity, in our quest to invest in our communities, we shouldn't just look at students or children with special needs for only the food items that we normally would give to them during Christmas or our birthdays, but also take a keen interest in visiting their dormitories and the facilities that they are using. And these are the areas that we need to target so that they can also live in a cleaner, safe and healthy environment to also prevent them from attracting other communicable diseases.
Chief Executive for Matrix Gas, Sahid Ahmed Lako, believes the renovation will go a long way to help the children practice healthy living.
And they have allowed us some support from them, and we were able to do the renovation of 12 washrooms in Jowolu Special School. I'm very delighted to the management of Jowolu School, Mr. Tite, and all the stakeholders around us to make it live for us. And I'm grateful to all the team members who really contribute to make it live for us.
Headmaster for the Jowolu Special School, Frederick Tete, expressed appreciation to the Chamber and supporters for the gesture.
I know we already have a relationship with them over the years, and they've done a lot for the school. And I want to tell them that this relationship will continue to grow from strength to strength. So any time that I will call on them to assist the school, I know that they will be willingly and ready to support us, because this school belongs to the government, and government alone can't do it all. So when organizations, NGOs, and individuals assist us, it helps us to also manage the school and educate these students very well.
The Chamber is hoping to embark on more of such initiatives in the coming days.
Now, for years, staff at the Suhum Government Hospital's Neonatal Intensive Care Unit have had their fair share of inadequacies because of lack of equipment. Now, premature babies often arrive fighting for their lives, and the hospital simply does not have enough neonatal equipment to meet their needs of the babies. But that's in the past now. As part of its 5th anniversary, Fair Afrique Ghana Limited, producers of Made in Ghana chocolate, have raised funds to purchase essential equipment for hospital and the community at large.
We then referred mother and baby to the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, and again, there was no space. On the third day, after several calls, the baby was finally accepted, but sadly, we lost that precious little life. A life that could have been saved. A mother's joy turned into tears. Our team carried that pain deeply, knowing how much this child meant. This is just one of many heartbreaking experiences, not because we lack the skills or dedication, but because we lack equipment. A turning point, Fair Afrique Ghana Limited. As part of their 5th anniversary and corporate social responsibility initiative, they chose to invest in health, and we are honored to be beneficiaries. During the anniversary launch, we presented the situation on the ground. At that time, we had only 1 incubator, which was also a donation. Today, thanks to Fair Afrique Ghana Limited, our dream has become a reality. Our NICU now has 2 modern incubators, 2 radiant warmers, 2 CPAP machines, and a patient's monitor. Equipment that will transform the care we provide and help save countless newborn lives. You have lifted a heavy load off our shoulders. You have restored hope to families. You have given our preterm babies a real fighting chance to survive and thrive. We assure you that we will use these machines diligently and maintain them well.
Now, in Accra, the simple act of buying a condom at a pharmacy still sparks embarrassment for many young people, leaving them unprotected and at risk. With HIV cases on the rise, the Ghana AIDS Commission is planning new measures to make prevention discreet, accessible and stigma-free. Angela Lawe has more in this report. The Ghana AIDS Commission recently reported more than 1,500 new HIV infections in early October 2025. Behind those numbers are stories of hesitation, missed opportunities, and risk taken in silence.
Don't like using condom. It's like eating a toffee in a rubber. How do you enjoy it?
Most of us feel shy to go to the pharmacy to get just condom.
Inside the Commission's offices, prevention is being redesigned. The new condom vending machines will provide discreet access without human interaction, one of the biggest barriers for young people. And soon, youth-friendly AI tools will offer confidential sexual health guidance and HIV information online, meeting young people where they already are on their phones. Here is Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Kamasel Prosper Akabong.
The current new infections are quite worrisome, as you rightly said, because one, they're in the age group 15 to 24-year age group. We are just about developing the new prevention strategy, and we're taking in all the factors of what we've seen with the female condoms issues that you are talking about, and even the male condoms. It is part of the next strategy that we want to get new set of condom machines that can be put at populations of Ghana, lorry stations, nightclubs, prominent beer bars. If it's the tertiary institutions, we also want to put abundant information, even including AI information, chat box information where you can get information. We are trying to introduce newer forms of prevention, which include drugs called lenacapavir, where you can take an injection. If you are HIV free, you can take an injection and take 1 or 2 tablets alongside the injection, and you have 6 months protection. One way we're looking at the electronic aspect is the fact that almost everybody has a Ghana card now. You can go and just swipe your Ghana card and 3 condoms will fall for you. So these are the lock ones locked in. This is where the condoms will fall. When we're finished, so we so this one is not even. So when we want to fill, we screw back, put the, and by tension, it's pushing it down, and that is how it comes down. And then it's a coin, coin place here. You drop the coin, and then the coin goes there. And then you can, once you do that, it will release, and then the condom will fall down. And then you pick your condom from as early as the first half of next year. We should get everything possibly ready to get it introduced to the country.
Dr. Harry Ochre Amweni, Deputy Executive Secretary of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, highlighted accredited online services now available to provide discreet purchases, reducing embarrassment and empowering young people to protect themselves. In a practical demonstration, Dr. Amweni showed how to use the female condom, a highly effective option that remains underused.
The pharmacies usually have their own apps, right? So on top of my head, for example, Dragnet, right? Dragnet is one of the, I know Cure Aid Pharmacy also have their own app that, so like Ad Pharma also have an online service. It's usually a line, a dotted line here that you are supposed to just tear from there, right? Okay. By the way, you need to check the expiry date as well. Very important. Make sure it's not expired. And then if you're having long nails like mine, be careful you don't puncture anywhere in the condom, right? So this is the outer ring, right? And this is the inner ring. We are assuming this is for somebody who is going to engage in vaginal sex. These days, anything is possible, right? So you just squeeze the inner ring, like make sure the ring is inside. This is the part that is supposed to go into the vagina. This is supposed to be on the outside. These are something we just prepared ourselves. Let's say this is the female genitalia. So you just squeeze it like that, right? And then you push it with your finger. You push it with your finger as deep as comfortable. So you see that the outer, because this is not a proper, it's difficult, but usually there is a dummy that is used for demonstration purposes, yeah. But you push it so this outer ring fits perfectly onto the vulva. So this is the only part that will hang outside onto the vulva like that. It's good, something like this, as comfortable as possible. Something like this. So this is where the penis will, go like that, and this part. So when you are done and everything, you just hold here, remove it gently.
The Ghana AIDS Commission says existing vending machines across the country are outdated and in poor condition. They are appealing to partners to support the installation of modern, reliable machines, stressing that timely investment is crucial for Ghana's HIV prevention effort to succeed. Angela Lawe's report read to you. And that was a beautiful report by Angela Lawe. But let's move away from that. And counsellors across the country are being urged to embrace digital tools and modern ways of practice to meet the growing emotional and psychological needs of the public. And this call was made in Kumasi during the International Conference for Counsellors and Associates held under the theme, Becoming a World-Renowned Counsellor, Adapt, Innovate and Navigate.
The conference brought together certified counselors, academics and mental health professionals to discuss how the practice of counseling can evolve in a world increasingly shaped by technology and fast-changing lifestyles. Founder and national president of the Ghana National Association of Certified Counselors, Dr. Cecilia Tutu-Dankwa said counselors must be ready to serve beyond traditional limits. She explained that the world has become a global village and digital platforms now make it possible for counselors to attend to people anytime and from anywhere.
We want our counselors to go worldwide and support people. We want our counselors to sort themselves. We want our counselors to research. We want the world to come. Counseling is of God. God himself is the wonderful counselor, and we are just doing an aspect of his word. So please come and you'll be sorted. You yourself to come, we'll sort you out.
Deputy Registrar at the KNUST Directorate of Student Affairs and the certified counselor, Mrs. Victoria DeGraft Ejay, added that the counseling profession must move away from old methods and embrace modern tools, especially in the era of artificial intelligence and digital communication.
We don't have to continue to be in the old way of we doing things, continue to do things the old way. The traditional way of counseling we've gone past, because now we are in a digitalized world and things are moving fast in the era of AI. And so we need to learn how to even inculcate AI into the services that we provide, our therapy, and also we need to learn new ways. We don't have to be learning in silos. We have to open up.
A clinical psychologist and psychotherapist from KNUST, Sister Emily, expressed concerns about the growing number of untrained persons presenting themselves as counselors.
We need to, as a country, we need to really ensure that the practice of counseling is regulated. We want people who are certified counselors in the system so that we don't get, with all due respect, some quack counselors, feeding the general public with any substandard sort of service, because people are desperate for help, and because of that, they may take in anything and everything, you see. But counseling, to be effective, is not neutral. It can be very positive, but it has the potential also of being negative when it's not properly delivered. So, yeah, I would like to see more regulation with respect to the practice of the profession.
Reporting for Joy News, Jude Fiadbe.
You're still watching the Joy News Room with me, Noella Karen Yali. We'll take a breather here. We're back with more. Welcome back. It's the Joy News Room with me, Noella Karen Yali. Now, let's take you to Kumasi, where the Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair continues to offer patrons exciting discount. And joining us live with details from Kumasi is Emmanuel Bright Kweku. And Emmanuel, if you can hear me, what can you report? What's going on in Kumasi? Hi, Emmanuel.
All right, so Karen, we are here at the Kumasi City Mall and the forecourts of the Kumasi City Mall, where the Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair is currently happening, and we are having a lot of goodies here for your home accessories. This is where you need to be. But I wouldn't want you to just burst your bubble, but I'll just call in quickly Republic Bank to come join me here to have short negotiations or interactions as to what they are offering. Especially when I came here on Thursday, they were giving us a lot of mortgage banking packages for the patrons who will be here, but I am particularly intrigued about their diasporan packages. Sir, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Right. Thank you for the opportunity.
So let me find out from you. I know you have a diasporan package. Tell us about it.
So basically what we do is for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, we have a special mortgage for them where we are able to finance up to 80% of the property price, and then they finance the remaining 20%. Now we are able to do so for a maximum term of 15 years at a very reduced interest rate. Now we know the challenges they have, where they use friends and family members to acquire properties, build properties, and they end up having nothing. So what this package seeks to do is that it mitigates all those risks, and then the bank does the due diligence for them. We make sure that the property that they are buying, the seller has the right documents. We also make sure that in terms of the documentations, if they are not able to sign, they appoint someone in Ghana who can sign on their behalf. So the package is strictly designed to make sure that every risk that is associated with someone having to purchase a property for your behalf is cut out. So if you are watching me, we encourage you to let your brothers and sisters know who are in the diaspora that coming through Republic Bank is the safest way in acquiring a property. It's not just acquiring. If you also have a land that you have already started. We know in Kumasi, a lot of people like building their own properties. So if you're already in the diaspora and you've started building your property, and you have the right documents, you can approach Republic Bank. Then the interesting thing is you don't have to be in Ghana. You can do everything remotely. So that's the interesting thing about this. So it's very conducive.
Thank you very much. And so I'll invite my friends outside so that we come around and come and buy a mortgage bank. Thank you very much. And so once you have acquired or you have the financial muscle to acquire your land, you will probably need the land itself where you want to buy it. And so I'm being joined by a representative of the Lands Commission here in Kumasi. And in fact, you know, land acquisition always is about litigation, but my man is here to explain to us how you can acquire your land without litigation. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So let me first, you know, Kumasi we are, and there's a lot of litigation about land acquisition. Tell us about how you, as a land commission, you are ensuring that people do not acquire lands that are so engulfed in litigation.
Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity. For us at the Lands Commission, what essentially we are trying to do is to use events like this to educate the populace about proper ways of acquiring the right land from the right owner and also registering the land. You know, oftentimes people think that when I get an allocation note, that is the end of my documentation. I can sit home and then probably relax thinking that I have the documentation. But you see, when you read the Land Act, there's a legal way you need to go to get your land documentation, and that is the leasing. When you come to the region, Ashanti region specifically, we deal with 2 lands. So if you are with an allocation note, it will surprise you that there can be a property that is being occupied or that has 1 allocation or 2 allocation notes being given to 2 separate people. So that means that maybe plot A, block B is given to A and B. It's one of the ways where litigation arises. So for we at the Lands Commission, we are committed to educating the populace about registering your land even after acquiring your allocation note, because the allocation note is just a basic document that transfers the rights from the allodial owner to you, the buyer. So granted, you need to come to the Lands Commission and then get your land registered or get a lease done for you. And you see, when you come to Ashanti region, one thing about our land registration processes is that because quote unquote Otunfo is a custodial owner of all the lands, one of the things that you need to take into consideration is that when you bring your allocation note, the leasing starts from Menshia, where they type the lease and then submit it for official or legal registration of the property. So these are some of the processes, and we deal with not just 2 lands but also public lands or vested lands. Vested lands are lands that are managed by the government and also the STU. These are the 2 owners of those lands, and we manage it on behalf of the government. And we don't just do registration of land, we do property valuation, we do surveying works and all that, land deed registration and title registration as well over there.
Sure. And in fact, I'm sure once we come to your end, we will not have any problem acquiring land. Thank you very much for speaking with me. And once we have also acquired the land, there is one crucial issue with electricity. Acquiring meters is one of the crucial things anybody at all, once you build your home, you will need. And so we are also being joined by the Electricity Company of Ghana here at the Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair, and I'm being joined by
Sylvester Kwame Apedo, engineer.
Okay, so sir, tell me about how I can acquire my meter without any going through agents. It's just so stressful. Just tell us about what the service you are offering here.
Yes, our services are just simple. If you want electricity in your home, please come here. We have our treasury management executive here. They will explain to you the process that you will go through and get your meter. Getting meter is very simple. So we don't want you to pass through any middleman. Just try and come here or visit any of the district offices nearer to you and go straight to the customer service point, and you will get your meter from there. You register for a meter, 100 cedis per meter. Then a single phase meter will cost you 1,353.36. So it's just simple. If you pass,
you don't need buying 10,000 and all over. Some people are paying 10,000 for just a meter.
No, it's because you are passing through a middleman. If you should pass through the correct channel, visit your district office, they will tell you the process involved, and you just get it as simple as possible. As at now, we have a lot of meters, prepayment meters in the system. So if you are ready for a meter, just finish the wiring in your house, get energy commissioner to certify your wiring, and they will stamp a form for you. Bring that form together with your Ghana card and also your site plan. You come and register. We want to appeal to members or customers, general public, that try and do this as simple as yourself. Don't pass through any middleman. Otherwise, they will toss you here and there. Before you realize, you spend a lot of time before you even get a meter.
All right, so thank you very much for speaking with us. And so he is a representative from the Electricity Company of Ghana telling us about ways we can acquire a meter. I'm also being joined by another exhibitor here at the Republic Bank Lab FM Habitat Fair, and you are representing Safety and Homes, if I'm correct?
Yes, Safety and Home Solutions.
Okay, so tell us about the products you are having here, and in fact the discount you're offering patrons who will be coming here.
Okay, Safety and Home Solution, we have so many brands. And then we have Safety and Home Solutions. We have Safety and Home Solution Construct Furniture, and also Safety and Home Solution Kitchen and Wardrobes. We have solutions for doors, windows, walk-in closets, kitchens, TV units, and many more. All these solutions are things that we bring from Malta, Turkey, and also Indian. They are of a higher quality, and our products are matched with the products we currently have in the market. And with our prices too, they are very pocket friendly. All that we need is to get people who really need security when it comes to your security doors. And also we need people who want style and then sophistication designs. And if you want your rooms or your kitchen to look more elegant and beautiful, come to Safety and Home Solutions and you get the best designs and the kitchens. Malta kitchens, actually we have it on our screen here, and most people when they see it, they ask, are you sure this is in Ghana? Yes, they are very beautiful. When you see them, it will attract you. And the prices are also very cool, affordable.
In the discounts, any discount for us?
Yes, we are doing a discount promo, which will end tomorrow. Yeah, also we will extend some to the Christmas season. But however, you are giving up to a 50% discount on selected doors for internal and also security purposes. And also we are giving 20% discount on any other door that you select from our booth today. Yeah, any door that you select at all, 20%. And aside that also we are giving a free delivery, free installation, and also free consultation. Most of the times people don't know the sizes of the entrances that they have. So when they come to us, we get our technicians to take the actual accurate measurements, and we give you the actual door that will fit. And also let me make this comment that not all doors are created equal. Yeah, some doors cannot withstand break-ins and they cannot withstand the weather. But at Safety and Home Solution, we've considered all this into our manufacturing. And with that, we are giving the best solution when it comes to doors. We have a wide variety of doors, from pocket doors, sliding doors, pivot doors, foldable doors, and a lot more. Yes.
Thank you very much for speaking with me. And so I have been speaking with Safety and Homes. I quickly want, I have just a little short, so tell us about what you have.
I'm representing DBS Industries Limited. This year's Habitat Fair, we came with 15% off. That is, we are doing our Bosu free promo plus 5% for our various customers. So if you are in Kumasi or anywhere, you can either call us or you come to the Kumasi City Mall and join us with the Habitat Fair.
All right, so thank you very much for speaking with me. And so it's a lot of excitement here at the Kumasi City Mall. The exhibitors are giving us discounts, a lot of the discounts here at the Kumasi City Mall. So just trooping, it started from yesterday, Thursday, and then we are ending on Sunday. And in fact, this is where the coverage is still here, and hopefully we'll give you more in our subsequent. Okay, well, I'm joined by this gentleman here. Let me find out from you, what do you have for us?
Well, that was an excellent report by Emmanuel Bright-Quick, who there from Kumasi. The fair is still ongoing, and so if you are in Kumasi, you can find your way to the Kumasi City Mall for the Habitat Fair going on there. Now, diagnosed with deadly acute myeloid leukemia at age 17, Blessed Amadeko, his life hangs in the balance. With compounding debt of over $60,000, Blessed Amadeko is being detained in India due to his family's inability to pay the bills. The family is making a passionate appeal for support. JoyNews' Irama Akwa has more in the following report.
For 2 years, 20-year-old Blessed Kujo Amejeko has been fighting a deadly blood cancer, acute myeloid leukemia, a disease that has drained every strength in his body and every resource his family has ever had.
All my counts were low. We needed blood and blood products, financial situations. We had nobody. Just a few good people and some family members.
In July this year, after months of fundraising and the kindness of strangers, Blessed finally traveled to India for a life-saving bone marrow transplant. The procedure was successful, but the journey to survival is far from over.
Sometimes I'll be bedridden for days. I say challenging because without financial capabilities, it is going to be very difficult for one to go through all what I'm going through and come out successful.
Blessed has been on admission in India for the past 4 months, where he underwent a successful bone marrow transplant. But the medication, transfusions, and follow-up treatments that kept him alive have built a massive bill the family did not anticipate.
Since we got there in July, to the hospital, we've made payments of a little to $9,000. There were a few complications along the way. I went there to be the donor for my brother, but we weren't a match. They had to end up using my dad, who ideally was too old to be the donor, but at that point we didn't have any option because when they checked the world registry, there were no matches. So some tests were run. My brother had antibodies against my dad. He had to undergo immunotherapy and some other forms of treatments, which were in the initial estimates.
The hospital is demanding for their money. And out of the ransom, we've only been able to pay just a little. And the word out is, if we are unable to pay the rest, the treatment discontinues. So I plead with the government, with Ibrahim Mahama, ministers, companies, NGOs, churches, fellow alumni students of Armed Forces Senior High, students of Ghana Telecommunication University.
And on that very sad note, we wrap up the news here on the JoyNews Room, but you can log on to myjoyonline.com for more of our local and international stories. I'm Noella Kareniali, and do enjoy the rest of our programming.